They're going to be good?
We're going to be good. Yeah, we are. Our whole league's going to be good. But I like our group. Really competitive group. Guys have worked hard. We've had some time with them. You know, it's different than when I first got into coaching, when it was 4 at a time. And you had a lot of limitations on how often you can get out there on the court with them. But we've had abbreviated practices for quite some time. Starting next Monday, you know, we'll have the 20 hours per week, so it'll be ramped up. For sure, we'll have opportunity to have longer practices and take a big jump offensively, defensively.
What will Savo bring to the table? What did you guys want to add him to your roster?
Savo's a terrific passer, competitor. He's got that European experience, playing against high-level professionals over there for quite some time, to where he's matured beyond his years. Really high basketball IQ, big-bodied point guard, again with a high-level ability to pass the ball and make his teammates better.
Coach, how important was that deep NIT run for the returners this year in terms of their development?
I think it was important for them. I think it helped them gain confidence. It helped us with a little bit more of a sell in recruiting last spring. Just continues to provide us momentum. You know, and for those guys individually, I thought our 3 freshmen really finished strong, and they got right back to work last spring, and they've all had really strong off seasons.
Speaking of those freshmen, where is it that you want to see each of those guys take a step forward in their game?
Culture, leadership, more than anything, winning. Individually, just from a skill standpoint or facets of the game, I would say Silas has worked really hard on his shot. You know, improving his percentages, assist turnover ratio as well. Blue Kane becoming more confident, getting better defensively and on the glass, rounding out his game, which he started doing a lot late last year, of course, and Silas had a really good year. In addition, Dylan James getting stronger, shooting it with more confidence, defending and rebounding at a high level, which is needed, obviously, at any front court spot in this league.
What have been your early impressions of Asa? Obviously, a lot of people are going to be paying attention to him as this season gets going.
Asa Newell, very high motor, a big-time mover at 6'11", laterally, and the way he changes ends. Plays with a lot of energy. Had a really good summer.
What are the challenges in building a culture in this day and age where rosters turn over as frequently as they do? And I guess they do it in a lot of places, but just what is the challenge in trying to develop a consistent culture?
Well, from year to year, I think it's very challenging, and we are fortunate, to go back to an earlier question, that we retained 3 guys that started for us late in the year, and they're a big part of what we're doing moving forward. But you know, within year, it's the same thing. You know, every year's a different team and different challenges and different personalities in the locker room. We spent a lot of time talking about it. We'll have a meeting here at 3:15 where we'll talk about culture and growth and process, and whether or not we're going to tournament this year, you know, whether we're going to the NIT and all that stuff, we won't talk about. We'll talk about, before I got those questions, obviously, we just talk about getting better today, you know, and what does that look like? It'll be very interactive, and ask guys questions, get those guys talking, you know, about what's important and how do we get better today offensively, and how do we shoot it better, and how do we get connected defensively. But just that growth process is a big part of what we talk about to promote that culture. That's what we're looking for with this team and with next year's team and the following year.
What style of play do you envision, or is that still being worked on?
No, we'll be comparable to last year. We'd like to play a little bit faster. We played a little bit faster the previous year. We'll be. I think this team offensively can be a little bit less call heavy, and I think this team can have more success with some continuity stuff, playing downhill, screens off the ball, screens on the ball, picking our spots where we'll play really fast at times. I think this team can be better on the offensive glass, for sure. And then defensively, I think we could turn you over a little bit more so than the last couple of years. And there'll be a significant improvement, in my opinion, in how we protect the rim defensively. We block and alter shots, which could get us out into transition.
You know,
offense.
speaking again, better on the offensive glass, you made a focus in the portal to really bring in some big, physical, athletic guys. So how much you think that will now help that aspect that was kind of a weakness at times last year?
Optimistic. This program the last couple of years, we've done some good things and we've had some deficiencies, and we haven't had a lot of easy baskets. We haven't, whether they're in transition or on the offensive glass, and again, we haven't protected the rim at a high level. We haven't blocked many shots. We hadn't altered a ton of shots. We had a couple of timely blocks last year by Russell Chu and a couple other guys, but hadn't been a strength of ours. And I think that those areas we'll see a bunch of improvement this season.
Coach, where have you seen Dylan James improve this offseason?
He's gotten stronger. He's gained a little bit of weight, not a ton, but he's definitely gotten stronger. He works at it. His ball skills have improved a lot. He's a guy that's unique in that he's playing a few different spots for us, and so he's actually has to have a better understanding than the rest of our guys, because we played him a lot of backcourt, believe it or not, this summer. So he played some three, and then he played some post for us. Really versatile, so he's gained experience, doing something a little bit different than the rest of our guys, and he's got the ability to do that. He's really versatile. He's really talented.
You had RJ and Tyron from a power conference level. Just how have you seen those guys bring that big game experience that they already have into this program?
Yeah, we're hopeful to see some late game production by Tyron that we saw, over the past few years competing against him and watching him in these league games. At times he's been really confident and had some big practices, but he's still learning what we're doing. RJ Godfrey is he was a heck of a player on a really good team there for a couple of years, playing alongside a couple other really good front court players. He's been terrific. His consistency, his motor, his toughness. We know exactly what we're getting out of RJ every day.
How does that translate to other guys? You mentioned, that's what I was going to ask about RJ, so where he kind of goes about his business. How does that kind of rubbed off on guys in a way?
It exactly that. It's rubbed off a little bit. We talk about culture, and he leads by example in a big way. And if you're not playing as hard as him and you're competing against him, you're going to feel it.
Are you guys in a good spot health-wise with the practice right around the corner?
Yeah, we are. Had a couple of guys, throughout the past few months that might be a week or a couple of days or what have you, but this time of year is the best time if you're going to miss at all, right? And the goal is to be as healthy as we possibly can be in November, December, throughout the winter.
You obviously put a lot on Sal's shoulders, the true freshman last year, and looking on social media, some of the posts that the basketball program puts out, he really kind of tried to pull this team under his wing, so as far as being a leader type goes. Is that a fair assessment of what he's trying to do?
Yeah, he's trying his best to lead by example. He's such a competitive guy, defensively and on the glass. He's one of the better guards in the league in those areas, and he's continuing to develop offensively and learn where to pick his spots in terms of him scoring it or him distributing and making guys around him better, lead on the court with his voice. But he's a guy like RJ, you know what you're getting every day, and he had a really good freshman year, and he's hopeful, we're hopeful that he can have even a better sophomore year.
You guys got about a month before you guys start scrimmaging. What do you want to learn about this team over the course of this next month?
How it looks when you're in the real grind. We've been in that abbreviated grind so far, and our guys, we haven't had a lot of opportunity, especially before you get into really good shape, basketball shape, to really test our guys physically and mentally, through some hour and a half, 2 hour practices. So how that looks, how our guys respond to some of that stuff, starting next week will be interesting.
When you bring in Dakota and Shane that have played together, just how much do you want to try to play those two together since they already have that connection and comfort?
Not a big factor for us, really. We like our depth right now. We like our depth up front and in the backcourt, and those are two of the guys that are fighting, for minutes, fighting for starting spots, and who's going to be the first guy off the bench and who's going to be our 10th, 11th guy, who knows. But it's a healthy competition. Those guys are both very talented. They're a little different. They can play together, but they also there'll be times when one of them's on the court and one of them's not, for sure. Because they've got their hands full with some other really good guards. and some experienced guards too. And I say that, and our whole league's got a lot of those really good guards and experienced guards. But I do feel like our backcourt will be as good as it's been since we've been here.
With Dakota, just what specifically stands out to you about his game?
Whether he's a 1 or a 2, he's equally as effective. Sprinting into shots, dribbling into shots, or getting other guys' shots. He's really steady. He's a guy that doesn't play with a lot of emotion, but he plays very hard. And so he's offensively, you like his poise on and off the ball. Very good player, really skilled player.
Somto was a guy you guys added late. Just what have you seen from him and Justin? Bringing that physicality in the interior.
Justin's had a couple really good practices lately. Got to adjust to this level, of course. Really quick thinker, good passer, instincts defensively, timing defensively with blocking shots with either hand. Kind of got a unique ability there. On the ball too, which is a little bit unique. Not rotational blocks, but one-on-one blocks. Just got unique length. And Somto has got a 7'6" wingspan and really, really elevates off the floor as well. So it's a couple plays each day. He makes it. A couple jaws are dropped. Athletically, got to improve his motor over time. He's a spurt ability guy right now where he can play really, really hard in short spurts, and we've got to improve that consistency, just like Justin, just adjusting to this level. And his adjustments even greater, obviously, coming from high school, but a really talented guy.
Everything's relative, obviously. You said earlier the SEC, talking about the SEC.
Yeah.
Everything's relative. How do you feel about, just a quick snapshot of the league, but obviously your goal is to move up.
Oh, yeah.
The food chain in there.
Yeah.
How confident do you feel about being able to do that and just looking at the league overall?
I think we're better. I think there's a chance we can be significantly better than last year. That said, where does that put us in our league? I have no idea. I know if I spend time worrying about it, I'm not spending time on us getting better today. I just want us to become our best version, and I don't know where that puts us in our league. I've been around this league for a long, long time, since I was, 18 years old.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's the best it's ever been, and I say it every year, and it's continuing to get better. January, February, I think we'll be talking about double-digit teams getting in the NCAA tournament. There's not a program, there's not a team in our league that I can point at and say, well, we'll be able to catch our breath when we play those guys this year. And I don't think people will be able to say that about us either. I just think that there's going to be a ton of parity. I don't know that we're one of the best teams in our league. We've got a big jump to make before we can say that, but I do think we'll be even more competitive than a year ago. Hopefully we can win some close ones. Hopefully we can continue to just get better and, again, just become our best version and see where that takes us.
Just real quick on Blue,
Sure.
Talking just a little bit. What improvements do you see him continue to make?
Making decisions off of the bounce, shooting it when he's open. We want him to be really aggressive and not pass up open threes. We don't want any of our guys that are shooters to do that. I think throughout last year he made a big jump defensively and got some really competitive defensive rebounds down the stretch in important parts of some of those late game situations in the NIT. He's growing in that area too. Just the overall ability to make winning plays in the SEC to complement his ability to make open threes. He's become a better passer too. He's working on that.
Any questions from Mike? Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Good to see
Thanks,
you.
guys.